Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k 8th edition reveal video. Today's video we will be looking at the Indomitus Crusade and the Dark Imperium reveal done by Games Workshop. So, Indomitus Crusade, what is it? Well, essentially the galaxy's gone a bit poo. What's happened is that with the fall of the Cadian Gate, the galaxy has been split in two due to just a horrendously large warp storm that quite literally, it's more of a warp rift. It's like a warp canyon. It literally splits the galaxy in half. And on one side, you've got, it's called the regular, you've got the normal Imperium or the Terran Imperium, because it's on the side of Terra, Earth. And on the other side, you've got essentially, like, just bad shit going on. And so and that is the dark side of the Imperium, also, the Dark Imperium. So the point of the Indomitus Crusade is to essentially cleanse the Terran side of the Imperium, the good side, of all the bad shit that's going on. And when we've got that sort of side in order, we will then try and crusade across the warp rift, which is very difficult, and restore order to the dark side of the Imperium. Okay, the Crusade is made up of Primaris Marines. Essentially what Guilliman is going to do is he's going to get loads of Primaris Marines, go from location to location, visiting chapter after chapter of Space Marines and being like, yo, you've taken some serious losses, here's a detachment of Primaris Marines to fill in the gaps whilst you guys get back on your feet. And so he's going to crusade, smiting chaos, but at the same time reinforcing the Space Marine chapters with these new Primaris Space Marines. Okay? And his crusade is made up of Primaris Marines, Adeptus Custodes, Sisters of Silence. There's going to be loads of not iron fists, Imperial fists as well. So that's it. It's a pretty standard crusade, really. The Imperium's gone to shit. Robert, Rowboat Girly Man, as people like to call him, he is going to try and save the Imperium this crusade. The crusade itself is not something that, as the Imperial Guard, we really give a shit about, because at the end of the day, if you read this article, what it says is there's basically not been a planet in the Imperium that hasn't been attacked at this point. Everywhere is under attack. And on the Terran side of the Imperial Guard is, holding the line, doing what it does best, and we're fighting, we're counterattacking, and it's kind of business as usual on the Terran side of the Imperium. However, this leads me on to my next topic, the Dark Imperium. On the dark side of the Imperium, warp travel is really hard to do now. Essentially, the light of the Astronomicon, I'm not sure how you say it, but the light of the Emperor, which is what Imperial ships use to guide themselves through the warp, can't very easily make it across this warp rift. So what happens is, to give you a crash course in how warp travel works in the Imperium, it's kind of like how very old wooden, sort of sailing ships used to do it when they were going across the sea. You needed a single point of reference, and it used to be I think it was like the North Star, the brightest star in the sky. So you'd look at that North Star and you'd chart your position from using that as a reference point. Well, that's what the Astronomicon is as well. It's essentially it's a bright beacon that Imperial ships can use to work out their location. Now that bright beacon is really, really hard to see on the dark side of the Imperium. The light is not getting through the warp rift. So that's why it's called the Dark Imperium. The light of the Emperor is literally struggling to make it through. So, for the first time since the dark age of technology, for the first time since like the age of strife, the Imperium is struggling to do warp travel because there's a whole, literally an entire half of the Imperium has been cut off. Can't get, struggling to get reinforcements through. Struggling to even do basic warp travel. The planets that are over there can't even really reinforce each other. Everyone's pretty isolated. So that's bad, obviously. What's really bad is which planets are on that dark side of the Imperium. Well, let me tell you, there is some really, really, really big ones that are over there. Like, I'm not kidding you. There's some absolutely major planets which are now cut off. Just trying to. I've got the map up in front of me now. I'm just going through it. So, Valhalla and Ice Guard. You guys are on the wrong side of the rift. That's not good. I believe Vostroya, wrong side of the rift. That's not good. I mean, Cadia is blown up. There is no Cadia anymore. So those guys have gone. I'm sure I saw Attila for the Attilan Rough Riders. That's not good. They're on the wrong side of the rift, guys. Let me double check, but I believe... Oh no, Catachan is safe. Catachan is safe. So that's 3-4 major... Oh, sorry guys, forgot the most important one. Mordian. Mordian is on the wrong side of the rift, guys. And even worse, we're pretty close to the Eye of Terror and Cadia. With out of all the, the regiments of renown, out of all the planets, like, Valhalla and Vostroya and Attila and Talon. Sorry guys, Talon, they're on the wrong side of the rift, I believe. Out of all those sort of regiments of renown, Mordian's the one that's closest to the Eye of Terror, and we're really close to another mini warp storm as well. So that's really not looking good, guys, and I think that's going to have some implications for what we see on the tabletop, because I think this is Games Workshop's way of discontinuing some of the older Guard Regiment model lines that they've currently got going. I don't think they want to be selling metal models anymore. So I think they've got rid of, of no more Mordian Iron Guard. They're metal models. Get rid of them. Valhalla, get rid of them. No more Valhallans. Vostroyans, they're metal models. No more Vostroyans. Attila Rough Riders, get rid of them. It's really looking bad, guys. It'll be a real shame if they stop selling those models. I mean, I think there's a lot of Guard players out there and a lot of 40k players in general that were really hoping for our model line to be updated rather than, squatted. Half the regiment squatted. However, there is a ray of hope, guys. There is a ray of hope. If we can take it as read, if we can assume that the regiments that are on the wrong side of the rift, Games Workshop's going to remove those models from production, then we can assume the models that are on the right side of the rift will receive some love. So let's take a look at that. Catachan, they've got plastic models. They're on the right side of the rift. Elysia, those guys are on the right side of the rift. So that's good. But also Armageddon, guys. Armageddon. I think this is another hint And again, I have no proof of this, so I apologise if I'm getting you guys really hyped for this, but I think this is another hint that we could get plastic Armageddon Steel Legion. Because Steel Legion, Armageddon, they're going to make that a main war zone. They've already said that. And now they're going to need something to replace all those, you know, the Cadian model line. If they've blown up Cadia because they want to produce some new guard models, because the current plastic Cadians are really old and out of date, and so are the custom current plastic Catachans. If they want to give guard a bit of a reboot, and you're going to have a campaign focused on Armageddon, the Armageddon Steel Legion, then it kind of makes sense that you put that planet on the right side of the rift. And Armageddon is a hive world, guys. They can churn out regiment after regiment after regiment of Imperial Guard, like the Cadians could. I honestly think that Armageddon could become the new plastic range for the Guard. Now again, I have no proof of this. I could be completely wrong. But I've got my fingers crossed that I'm right. Because the only thing that would console me from basically ever being able to buy new Mordian models again, the only thing that could console me is if I was able to buy lots of plastic Steel Legion. So that's pretty much it, guys. Oh, I will apologise. I've literally just noticed right now that Talon and Krieg are on the right side of the rift. So I think Talon Desert Raiders, you guys should be safe. And maybe that means that, you know, I'm speculating too much, because, you know, that way we've got on the right side of the rift we've got Catachans, Armageddons, Talons and Krieg. That's like, you know, 4 regiments of renown. And then on the wrong side we've got Mordian, Valhalla, Attila, Destroyer, and just forgotten it. Fucking Valhalla. Anyway, and another one I've just forgotten. So it's about equal. So maybe I'm reading into it too much. But anyway, fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed we don't lose any models. I'd love all the Guard models to get updated to plastic. I'd love to be able to have plastic Mordians. I think that would look really cool. But if I can't get plastic Mordians, then I hope I get plastic Armageddon Steel Legion. I mean, wouldn't it be funny? I mean, I'm going to sign off now, guys. Don't want this video to go on too long, but wouldn't it be funny if they got rid of the Cadian plastics? They got rid of like pretty much all the metal range of Guard. Games Workshop didn't give us plastic Steel Legions, and everyone was like, well, what Guard plastics can we buy? And Games Workshop's like, well, guess what? Everyone loves Catachans! And they just like roll out an entire new line of Catachans, and everyone's just there thinking to themselves, of all the regiments, Games Workshop, of all the regiments, why are you bringing back fucking Rambo in space? I know a lot of people don't like the current Catachan models. I know a lot of people don't like the Catachan models in general. They think they look a bit silly. But I'm not too bothered about it. But it would be funny if all the regiments they would choose to make the centre stage, to make the fucking Catachans. It's like, you know, why do you love Catachans so much, Games Workshop? Why? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you guys think. Am I being overly pessimistic, thinking that they're going to get rid of all the Guard regiments, and the, you know, am I reading signs that aren't there? Are they not going to make plastic Steel Legion? I don't know. You guys tell me, of course, if you've noticed anything. If you guys have noticed anything that I've missed, and yeah, basically that's it. Of course, I just want to say I do know that Baal is on the wrong side, and the Blood Angels aren't looking great, but I think we'll have a separate video for that at some point, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Tell me what you think is going to happen. Tell me which direction you think the fluff's going to go. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.